What's up, everybody? Especially to you, my brother Junior. How's it? This is Aldi. Welcome back to Talking Story About Smoking. We are on session 16. Absolutely nothing is wrong. Womp, womp, womp. And Shakaz or Shakaz. Last session was poor, broke, locked prisoners. Don't let that feeling of getting choked and hopelessness moan boo-hoo in Whoville deep in your soul. Uncle Carr has the easy way. We're getting closer, and right now you're listening to this talking story about smoking sessions. This is even more easy. It is too easy. Like I said the last session, for me personally, you'll find it to be the most crucial session of this whole series. Remember we talked about the frog in the boiling water from session 15? Well, if I was the frog, I would need to be more aware of my surroundings and know how to sense it, and then you react to your surroundings. This is the battle plan. We're not going to zop anything today. In fact, we're going to zop them. Zop is the opposite of zop, where we're bringing x to the power of y. Basically, raising the exponent of whatever we need to. Way up, like exponentially. Sensory amplification. Putting a magnifying glass on it. To make it easier for you to remember, it is Zaldi making them go up. Zup. When I throw you one shaka, spelled S-H-A-K-A, courtesy of the late Honolulu Mayor Frank Fossey, you throw me on shaka back. Today, we're going over a different kind shaka. These are shocks, like the kind that zap you, the electric shock kind. And when you layer them one after the other, they are Shakaz. Remember when I went to Thailand, I paired up with a Sergeant First Class Storm, one EOD guy. We were the two guys that wasn't attached to an actual unit, so we were the oddballs. He and I were the battle buddies in Bangkok, Thailand. He told me something that I carry with me till today. Mistakes gotta hurt. A perfect segue to the rest of the session. If mistakes never hurt, you would never learn any lesson. However, if the mistake is like one shock, and if these shakas hurt enough, you're going to learn from them. The way to learn from them is to make sure we zap them. We expose and amplify. Going back to what we talked about regarding the mind and how it processes information, we end up generalizing, distorting, or deleting. Well, this is a triple combo when we think about smoking and quitting. We put a silencer on the pistol. We like to deafen the sound to things we don't like to hear, so we distort it. Selective listening is what they call it. So that loud bang is now a pfft. That impact from the pistol is still the same and is still deadly. It should shock the crap out of the person getting shot at and all the other people around earshot of that shot. But it is suppressed. The threat is masked. I remember going to Australia, and when I bought cigarettes, the 50-pack ones, the 50 cigarette ones in a pack, each one had a picture of either some disgusting picture of cancer-stricken, gunky, tarred lungs, or a person with a tube down the throat, dressed in a hospital curtain the hospital curtain that showed an ass kind gown, and the kind with gum disease, and showing how the gums are tarred like the thing was dipped and soaked in motor oil, and the tongue with black mold looking stuff. That kind of pictures. You know what I saw next to the cigarettes that they were selling? Cigarette box covers. These were covers that covered the whole box and covering that disgusting picture on the cigarette box. Needless to say, I had to have that cover too. Isn't that funny? A suppressor for the eyes instead of the silencer for the ears. For something that has an effect, for something that you can see, that could change the way how you feel. Just slap that cover on. Suppression of the Shockaz. If you don't zup that Shockaz, you're automatically trying to zop it and blow it out of existence, trying to equalize the Shockaz so it doesn't hurt. Let me tell you what you're doing. Instead of selective listening, it is selective thinking. You know what else is funny? Actually, not funny. High blood pressure is a silent killer. Hard to tell that you have high blood pressure unless you proactively check your blood pressure. Whereas smoking, vaping, TikToking, alcoholing, whatever naughty-ing you're doing, you see all the smoke signals trying to shock you. Puff is right there, blowing it away and suppressing the Shockaz. Puff is Stuxnet, giving you readouts on the widescreen TV that all is G to G, good to go. Puff saying in your ear, you're gonna die someday anyway. I remember telling Dad when I got diagnosed with the heart murmur. He told me I should lay off surfing to make sure you're not in bad condition and we can go try fix them before you try to make them worse. You know what I said? I'd rather die doing something I love doing. Puff wasn't even around when I said that to Dad. I wasn't smoking then, but I was thinking the same thing with smoking. I bet you're thinking the same thing too. Here are some other Shockaz Puff is playing the spin doctor. Shockaz of arteriosclerosis, diabetes, emphysema, angina, whatever, thrombosis, heart disease, chronic bronchitis, and cervical cancer, breast cancer. If you're female, no worry. I'm going to address my brother and all the guys shortly. You don't need a laundry list of all the health issues, all these Shockaz that come along with smoking. Just like the songs you sing at church. Don't let the lyrics get drowned out by the music and the melody. You need to get that magnifying glass and zup it up a level. You already know that you're at risk of having more than one of those threats at the same time. You already notice things that the internet and doctors and whomever can come up with words describing these diseases you cannot pronounce. Just remember those pictures they put on those cigarette boxes. Take a good look at it for 10 seconds. Just observe for a moment. Zup on it. I remember Uncle Carr talking about the same stuff I noticed when I quit too. And he noticed it when someone else noticed it about 5 years after he quit. The lack of oxygen in the blood takes a toll. Liver spots. I had pins and needles on my arms and legs. Not like I don't have it, but it was plenty. And I had to keep shifting them to release the pins and needles. And what was really trippy was my blood color. Just recently, I had a bloody nose while I was in the shower and saw that my blood was rich red. Before that, it was this dark browny red color. That was due to a lack of oxygen in the blood, and smoking coagulated that blood. Let me ask you some questions. You think those people in those pictures wanted to have their lungs look like a tarred octopus head? You think that they would have smoked that first cigarette if they knew that they can only breathe through a hole in a tube today? You think that the depressed, insecure teenage girl would have got hooked on Vines and TikTok if she knew it was going to cause her to cry every night because she feel like a failure and a nobody because she keeps comparing herself to that picture perfect world on Instagram? Did that alcoholic wish he's going to tweak and steal from their family or threaten their girlfriend's life? Did Nemeth volunteer to be a test case to get a heart attack when he drank that Red Bull? What if you knew the next one is the one that going tip the scale and push you over the edge to that irreversible damage like cancer? You seriously waiting for something drastic to happen before you take the suppression off and get serious? Just like what Uncle Carr said, quote, you went from planning the rest of your life to now planning your death, end quote. Just like what you see on YouTube, New Year's Eve, Hawaii, and you watch the fireworks. The fuse has been lit. The fireworks have begun, and we are approaching midnight. Midnight arrives, all the areas are blasting, the sound is deafening from the blast like a war zone, and you can feel the rubbish, even the rubbish from the aerials on your car, and you can smell the gunpowder everywhere. Eventually, midnight comes. No can stop the fuse. No can turn the hands of time. Now, this final shaka is why I do not want to paraphrase. I tried to think that I could overcome this and still smoke cigarettes. I'll be very short and brief with my quotes and careful to keep it clear from Uncle Carr's own testimony, his own talking story. Interestingly, of the whole book, only 2 paragraphs was dedicated to this topic. Pay close attention. Quote, which organ in your body has the greatest need of a good supply of blood? Question mark. End quote. I'm talking to you now. You men know what I'm talking about without me saying it. Quote, I was not aware of this effect until sometime after I had stopped smoking and had attributed my sexual prowess and activity, or rather lack of it, to advanced years. However, I know for a fact that smoking can lead to impotency. End quote. There. I said I wasn't going to paraphrase. I lied. I'll sum it up in 3 words. Womp, womp, womp. This is where I said the weight broke your camel's back. Breathe in, breathe out. Back to the quotes. Here's something promising. He goes on to say, quote, I can assure you that when you feel fit and healthy, you'll enjoy sex more and more often. End quote. Ta-da. Watch, Junior. You're going to rewind to this last sentence like it was manna from heaven. All the guys going to rewind to this last line. You know what? All the women going to rewind this and have their husbands listen to that last line. Your question is, how is it for me, you ask? All I can say is, my case of blue balls has returned. The factory is cranking and picking up steam as I continue to feel the mana growing every day. Well, Junior, as we close this session 16, now you naturally go and zap those Shockaz. Next time you look at the dashboard on your car, you see the check engine light. Don't just zap it and suppress it. Zap it. Research it. Understand it. Address it. And before you know it, you'll see that the solution was easy. The easy way. Too easy. Next is session 17 called Imagine. Quote, imagination is more important than knowledge. End quote. Albert Einstein. I just gotta say, today, I'm not gonna say the date, but today marks a great day. I made 1 year. I stopped smoking. Was today. Over 1 year today. That's amazing. I wanted to finish the whole sessions, but I'm just grateful I got this far already. I want to complete it soon. But for you, my brother, I just wanted to be. I'm just so grateful. There's some more sessions of how grateful I am and how easy it was. I better close. Maybe you did already. Maybe you didn't. If you found this to be helpful so far and want to see bigger, better talking story sessions, after you pal listen, bust out that tropical itch back scratcher and spank that button. HTTPS colon forward slash buymeacoffee.com surf or snow in the description below. And also hit like and subscribe because you are appreciative and you also believe in this work. Chee-hoo! So with that, my brother Junior, ahui ho. Okay then.